Hello, this is Conversa Solutions and welcome to our general overview video of Ensemble. This video will serve as a quick, high-level overview of our Ensemble EMM to help get you up to speed. Ensemble is an EMM. EMM stands for Enterprise Mobility Management, so Ensemble is a software solution that allows organizations to remotely manage their mobile devices by deploying projects, which are groups of devices, files, and policies, to them. Ensemble has an organizational hierarchy. Creating a new organization allows the admin to control multiple sub-companies, and companies can have multiple projects. An example use case of this would be a school district that has multiple schools. The district would have an account that could access all of the school accounts. Each school would have an admin with only access to their own school's company account. Each school could then have a project per classroom to serve a specific need or for specific applications and settings to that specific teacher's specific need. This is the homepage for your Ensemble company. These tiles provide general summary information about the devices, projects, and licenses on this company. You can use this menu to navigate throughout the site. Here, you can see your company name, to confirm that you are logged into the correct account, and to know that these pages all relate to this company. Right here is the link to our knowledge base guide, which serves as a wiki for troubleshooting Ensemble. We have many articles full of useful information here, so please feel free to poke around and take a look at what we have to offer. Let's start with the users page. This page has two tables. One for managing the users who can log into the Ensemble management site, and one for users who can log into the Ensemble MDM application. In these tables, you can view information about the users here that have already been registered. To add a new person to the users table, you can click the plus button here on the right side of the screen. To create a web portal user account, the first and last name fields as well as a valid email address are required. This is also where the user can be subscribed to receive email alerts about license expirations or any new feature releases. Next, you must decide how much access this user will have. There are a selection of predefined permissions levels and the option to create a custom role. Company user is the lowest level pre-built permission level. You can see here which permissions this user has access to. Clicking these help icons will help explain in further detail what each permission controls. For example, company users can manage devices, but they aren't able to view other companies in their organization or add new users. Company admin is the next step up. They can't view multiple companies either, but they can add and manage other users. Organization admin is the next to highest pre-built level, which includes all previous permissions, but also allows them to search and view other companies, as well as create new companies if needed. The final pre-built level is the organization master, which has full access to everything within their organization. This user is tied to the account used to create the organization. A custom user can also be created. A popular use case for this is to only allow them access to view the devices page and send remote commands so app data and accounts can be cleared when shared devices change hands. Once you have selected their permissions, you can either send them an email invite to create their own password and validate their account, or you can create a temporary password here for them to log into the system with. Once a user has been created, you can click the Options button here and manage the user specifically. For more specific information on this, please see our video in the description about managing users. The second table contains the application user accounts. Ensemble supports two ways to connect projects to devices, either serial registration or application user accounts. These accounts are used to log into the Ensemble application on the device. The same account can be used for one or many devices. This method is useful when the serials of the devices are not known ahead of time. Generally, devices using this method are enrolled using a QR code or are personal devices with a work profile, which will bring us over to the devices page. This section right here details the various methods of installing Ensemble onto your devices. As you can see, there are multiple different ways, including using a DPC code and using a QR code. We have descriptive, detailed videos for each specific way to install Ensemble onto your device. These videos will be linked down in the description below, so if you want some further information, you can watch those and get all of that information in one handy location. This section is the device management table. From here, you can see a lot of helpful information about the devices that you have entered into Ensemble. This device table lists every single device that you have currently entered and will allow you to see further information if you need to dig down deeper into a device or send remote commands to that device or multiple devices at the same time. For more information on how to use the device management table properly, and just to get more experience with everything that you can do within it, please see the video linked in our description below all about the device management table. This next section here is content. These pages are used to create a library of applications and files that can be later associated with the devices via a project. The private content page is used to upload any files, videos, pictures, or private applications such as training documents, icons, or any internal applications. The Google Play content page is where you can search the Play Store for applications, such as a music streaming application, a VPN, etc. Certain applications, like Google Chrome, can be configured to control settings such as location tracking and setting a homepage for the browser. The certificates page is where you would upload any certificates that you may have for Wi-Fi configurations or a VPN application. It works as a library for storing those specific certificates to later be associated with a project. Which brings us to the next topic, projects. This page is where projects can be created, cloned, or deleted. Projects are the place where content and policies are tied to a group of devices. Now, let's take a closer look at a project. Similarly to the company pages, this navigation menu takes us to the different pages related to this project. The name of the project can be found at the top here. Clicking this back arrow will take you back to the company projects page. From the main dashboard of the project, you are able to see how many pieces of content there are in the project, how many users, if the devices are on zero touch, if the location is turned on, and if it is, you can see it right here with pins dropped on the map for every device on the project. You can also take notes here on the project dashboard. Let's start off with the content page. This is where everything starts to come together for the project. This page is mainly used to select what content from the company library should be downloaded onto the devices that are on this project. This section here is the Ensemble version management section, and this is used to control when the Ensemble MDM application will update. If it's set to default, the Play Store will update Ensemble when it is not being used in the foreground, much like your applications on your personal device. High Priority will push the update for Ensemble out to the devices as soon as an updated version has been released, regardless of if it is running in the foreground. Postponed will stop the auto-updating of the app for up to 90 days. After 90 days, it will update to the latest available version of the app using the default update mode. The next section under that is a table to display what content will be downloaded to the devices on this project. This includes applications, files, videos, etc. Use the menu in the upper right hand corner of the table to add content to this project. If you need any further assistance in managing or adding content, please consult our knowledge base. The next section is policies, and this is how Ensemble controls the various settings on the devices on this project. The first tab is Kiosk Setting. Kiosk mode locks the device down to a specific application. There are two types of kiosk mode, single and multi-application. In order to make changes to any policies, this edit button must be pressed. Once you are finished, be sure to save your changes. Please note that saving the policies does not deploy the project. Single kiosk mode locks the device to one application of your choice. This is the stereotypical kiosk where a phone or tablet is repurposed for a single-use device. This use case has become more ubiquitous in fast food restaurants as a way to order food, but it is applicable to many other industries. Multi-kiosk mode is essentially a custom home screen application for the device. As you can see here, you can change the way the home screen looks. You can change the background wallpaper, place shortcuts to applications, bookmarks, or folders, and create up to 6 pages for the home screen. To create a shortcut, simply click on any of the squares on the screen here. You can create an application shortcut, a bookmark, add content, or create a folder. The color of the default icons for bookmarks and folders can be customized, or you can upload your own custom icon images to use. You can also create a date-time widget so it looks just like a normal phone would. Shortcuts can also be placed inside of folders, and those folders can have up to 6 pages as well. This row at the bottom of the screen is the favorites bar. Shortcuts that are placed here are accessible on any of the up to 6 pages. There's also the option to add a shortcut to the app drawer here. This gives access to all of the apps that are installed on the device. This will allow the admin to control the shortcut placement on the home pages, but also allow the end user to still have full access to the applications on the device. These additional kiosk features are available for both single and multi-kiosk mode. When you are in kiosk mode, the device is locked down to these pages that you create here, so anything that your users will need on the device, you will want to make sure that they can access it from these pages. If there is an application or server that you need to run in the background or needs to be opened via another application, for example, the camera application inside of a web conferencing app, the package must be whitelisted in the Other Packages Allowed during kiosk. You can also show or hide the action bar at the top of the screen. The 3 dots menu here is the Ensemble menu button. If the action bar is hidden, a shortcut can be added to the home screen to provide access to this menu. This button is usually used to reload policies, view your settings, or exit the application. You can change what options are available in this menu by going to the tab labeled Ensemble App Settings and changing them from there. The Device Settings tab is used to control the devices themselves. This can be used to change many aspects of the devices, such as disabling volume or brightness control, screen timeout time, adding a message to the lock screen, etc. If you have it set to disallow for any of the settings, the user will not be able to make any changes to these settings through the Settings application on the device. In the Application Settings tab, there are policies specific to the applications on the device. From here, you can block the use of many of the pre-built-in programs such as Samsung Bixby, the Google app, and others. This doesn't uninstall the app itself due to where the files are stored in the internal storage of the device, but it does disable them. The Google Play settings are policies used to manage the Google Play Store app. A key policy here is the ability to change what apps are available for the user to access. Changing this setting to only project content while setting the install mode of apps on the project to do not auto install and enabling the app drawer provides a way for admins to create a custom library of applications for their end users to choose from. This combination allows users to access the Play Store while limiting what applications can be installed by the user. Please see the guide linked in the description below to learn more about this feature. The update settings provide control over when the Android OS updates. Automatic will automatically update the device when a new firmware version is available. Scheduled allows the admin to set a time frame within which the device will auto-update. Postpone will postpone the update for 90 days and then auto-update the firmware. Communication settings control what calls the end user can make by whitelisting allowed numbers and provides the ability to preload a list of contacts. Security settings is where you can set restrictions on the device for security purposes. From here, you can disallow certain accounts such as Facebook or OneDrive accounts, as well as disabling certain features such as the lock screen camera, face authentication, airplane mode, etc. You can also improve the security of a kiosk device by using our recommended restrictions, which are linked down in the description, for example, disallowing safe boot. You can also set the password restrictions and qualifications here, so any password created for and by the user is subject to those conditions. Connectivity settings are used to preload Wi-Fi configurations, enable Bluetooth, and enforce always-on VPNs. Network settings control global device DNS configuration or a global proxy. These settings are useful when integrating with a third-party content filtering server. The device suspension settings are used to configure the appearance and branding of the device suspension screen. This feature locks the device down to a single screen with a logo, message, emergency, and support dialer. It can be triggered either by a day and time schedule, or via a command to the devices individually, or through the CSV batch uploader. Inter-app messaging provides access to the APIs that a third party can use to interact with the Ensemble MDM. For more information on this, please see our knowledge base guide that is linked in the description down below. The next section on the left-hand side of the screen is the APN section. An APN is an access point name, which is used to find the right IP address that the device should be identified with on the cellular network, as well as determine if a private network is needed and ensure the correct security settings are used. If you are working with a carrier, you can get a special APN setup for the SIM cards on the devices, which can allow you to manage the network even more minutely, including using your own server for transmitting cellular data. To configure an APN, you can enter the information on this screen by hitting the plus button on the right-hand side of the table. Beneath the APN section, you will find certificates. This is where you can select certificates from the company library to install on the device. Under this, you will find Deploy. The Deploy screen is where you push out any and all changes that you have made to your project to ensure your devices have the most up-to-date data. If you change a setting or add a new application, you need to deploy to actually send that new policy to the devices. If you want it to be deployed right here, right now, you can select this checkbox to make it instant to force the device to wake up and check in. User interaction required will prompt the user to download the update. Forced will force the install as soon as it is possible and open. And silent does the same, but without the UI message that appears for forced. The devices and users pages connect these policies and applications to the devices. This section will behave very similarly to the device management table that is present on your company page. In here, you can see the devices that are currently assigned to the project, or you can add a device to it by clicking the plus button here on the right. Note, this will not allow you to register a new device to the company. It will only associate a prior added device to the project. Application users can be added to the users page in a similar manner. Any device that is logged into Ensemble with the user account associated with the project will load the policies of that project. A default license is associated with each user. When a new device is logged into with that user account, a seat from that default key is used. If there are no available seats, the login will fail. Once Ensemble has been installed on the device, the project has been deployed, and the devices have checked in, any subsequent changes to the project can be deployed over the air. The Reports and Activity page allows you to export information about your devices and projects. The Activity table provides insight into what users have changed on their projects lately. Thanks for watching! Please subscribe to stay up to date with any future releases and to be notified of any new videos. Be sure to check out our page to see other videos on specific topics, as well as our knowledge base linked in the bio. Thank you and have a fantastic day.